Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this video, we're gonna do something really simple and basic. Basically, to kind of do a little rigging on a text objects and then animate it randomly. Okay, this is for AR. This is for my for beginners, Blender and animators if they want to animate a text. So yeah, let's get started. There are many ways to do this. First of all, normally when you open Blender, you select all and do a delete. Oh, my Blender is really slow today. And then you go to text, you create text objects, right? And then you rotate it and you design the text a little bit. You can add some kind of extrusion, and if you like, you can also add a bit of depth. Okay, resolutions can be pretty low because this is for AR. Depends on how close you are. So let's write just blend. This text you can change the font if you like. This is not the most beautiful font, but it's okay for now. So save as. So random text. So if you want to animate the text each on every letter, you can do that in many different ways. You can use, actually there's animation nodes ways to do it, but instead we're gonna do it manually using bones because that's kind of important. Oftentimes I assume that people who knows nodes actually knows Blender, but if they just learn Blender, this is should be helpful anyway. So with the text itself, you can actually just animate the objects. So let's say you have like multiple objects like this, letter B. Yeah, I guess don't worry too much about the pivot. The pivot you can actually adjust if you are using this offset. If you want to actually animate the text object itself, so you ensure the pivot is correct, something like this. And you could, in theory, just animate these objects. So let me create a timeline. And then if you want to animate, you hit I, and then keyframe location, rotation, scale, and you go to a different time, move this guy into a different space, and then keyframe this, hit I here, or just I and then location, rotation, and scale, and you should have animations. And you can do this into different objects. This is like two different objects with the same animations, but you can clear these animations and then continue. But if you are doing it this way, you're gonna end up with multiple animations, multiple objects, multiple animations. So that's okay, but I like to keep it even better and simpler and more efficient is to keep this under a single armature. Okay, but we need to bake the font. That's the only thing. So let's actually bake this. If you want kind of like a smoother type of text, you can use remesh, and this can actually give you kind of a nicer looking text, like mesh wise is cleaner, things like that. So probably I will do this, although you can also use this kind of text if you want a sharper bevel and things like that. But just so you know, this beveled one is separated into it's actually like separate mesh. But if you remesh it like this and then you bake, this should be like a full objects. If you try to bake this, cannot apply modifier for this type of objects. That's because this is a text object, and usually my method is to use F3 and then convert to mesh. That will kill the modifier, and then now this is a real mesh. So let's actually start to rig this text. So we're gonna rig it. You can separate the text into different objects. That can be faster, but in this case I keep it a single object. I will create an armature, single bone, and so we're gonna put the bones where where the pivot of the joint is gonna be. We can always edit that later. For now, with the bones, we're gonna make sure this will always be in the front, okay? And I will create, I will go to edit mode and simply duplicate it for each and every one of our texts. So this guy is still a single armature object, and our text made up of this different face. So you could, normally you can select the text and then select this guy and then Control P and then just with automatic weighting, and you can kind of pray that that's gonna do the job. And well, apparently in this case it does. So Blender automatic weighting is doing the job too good, but in some cases the text will not be properly weighted. But this is, I mean, if you just want to animate this, this is already ready for you to animate. But I'm gonna show you the hard way actually. Gonna get rid of everything and let's do it manually. It's a little bit weird that I want to show you this, but the idea is to make the Vertex Group before we do anything over here with the bones. So I will go to edit mode and I will turn on this show X-ray so we can select the whole vertices. So this is for letter B, right? I will create a vertex group, call it B, assign weight of 1. I only need to hit it one time. Create another one, call it L, assign, and so on with each and every letter. Assign, and then this guy, create a new group, assign it. This is actually similar to Maya or Mesh, where, oops, I accidentally select letter N. I need to create D. You will see there's gonna be something funny happening later. So if I deselect and then select based on this, you can see we actually save that group. The N is a bit wrong. I need to get rid of this. Select this, assign weight of 0. So if I do that again, oh, still selecting it. That's interesting. Maybe we do that. Just deselect, assign, remove. Okay, we fixed that one. Good. So good. Now we have the vertex group. Now the only things we need to do is select the mesh and select the bones. Control P, and actually we don't do that. Just select the mesh and then go to armature, go to modifier and assign armature deform. Select our armature objects, and let's see if this is working. So it's not working until we actually change the name of our bones. So this bone, let's see, this one is called bone. We're gonna replace it with B. This one is L. This one is E. And T. Okay, blend. And then we go to post mode. Suddenly it works. So Blender makes automatic connections if the bone's name is the same as the Vertex Group. So that's actually new for me. I only learned that the other day. I should have known that, but yeah, but it's actually new. Okay, so now we have this text, and we can start animating the text. So for example, we're gonna make it dancing randomly. So location, rotation, and scale. We can actually rotate and scale whatever this. Imagine like a floating text, kind of like a balloon. Select all again, keyframe. So this is kind of like animations. You can turn on automatic keyframe if you turn on this using that button, but I'm just gonna do it manually. It's a bit cleaner sometimes. You can also use procedural way to animate this text, and if I want to show it to you anyway, so if I switch to sphere chalk, for example, sphere chalk, and use object ID selector, and I select armature or objects, so objects, and then select armature. So we have our armature. We can use object ID set. So this is the objects, and we're gonna get the post bones, get all the post bones using this, and then the output can be, for example, the positions. This is gonna be the offset position, if I'm not wrong, and then you can assign random vector. So we have 5 objects, assign it there, so we can have that. Oh, each one need to have a different value. So that's interesting. It seems like every one of them is moving at the same time. No, that's wrong. Maybe the seed. Okay, should I please split it? Sometimes I completely forget. Oh, it's still doing it at the same time. Okay, that's interesting. This object should be 5 different objects. If I say post bone 1, oh, I know why. It should be this out value. Okay. This should go there. There you go. We don't need list split. It's clever. This is clever enough to do the split for us. So this is like random, and we are using procedural way to do it. So, okay, that's, and then we should turn this off after. So we have animations. Yeah, slight variations. Just want to show it to you. You can use procedural way. So now if we have we have these animations, and you want to export it out for AR, first of all, we're gonna have to give it material. Maybe give it like a metallic material. Each one of them can have different color. Turn off roughness. Just give a little bit, and we are done. The quick and easy way and cleaner is always to export it out as FBX first. So USDZ balloon text. Exporting that object as FBX will clean up the animations and then you import it back. Yeah, import it back as FBX. Sometimes you can just export it out as GLB and it should work. So this is the animation, right? It's pretty much done. And then we go to timeline. Okay, we only have 80. We have a bit of funny things there. We can still animate it. I think we can just squish that in. $60, 62. File, export, GLB, GLTF. GLB or GLTF. GLB seems to work with recent USDZ convert. So, okay. USDZ convert, GLB, and very likely this is pretty big, so meters per unit, 0.1. And if we open Reality Composer, we can make horizontal AR, drag in the text. This is our balloon text. No animations until you give it a behavior. Custom scene start. When scene start, just animate. Affected object and play. So that's the animations. So this should work for AR. I believe the material should be there. I need to do smart UV as well. F3 smart UV project file save as. Oh, I need to export it again. Okay. Oh, I don't need, in this case, just export as GLB and do the same thing. Convert. Check the USDZ. Okay, now we have the shader. Plug this in. Stop. Bring this in. Okay, there you go. So this one is with a broken shader. This one is correct. You can actually just replace this with the new one. Oops, sorry. Right click, replace with this guy. Playback. So this should work as AR. Maybe I should test it out. Let me quickly do it. I think I get my iPad here. I need to open Reality Composer and edit on iOS. Open on my iPad. Go into QuickTime Player. And we're gonna try to file new movie recording. And we're gonna be using my iPad as camera. Okay, play. There we go. Play. So there you go, that's the animations. You can actually loop the animations simply by turning on that thing. So it's gonna loop, even though our animations is gonna jump. It's not doing like a ping pong kind of animations. Okay, so but this is the AR seems to be working. You can make this smaller. Okay, and then you can export it out as a reality. So it's pretty simple. It's it should be basic. You can just try and do this. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't show it to you on the screen. But anyway, this is the result. Just now I turn on the loop over there. Nothing else. I just create the experience. Okay, this is not the best way to display it because it's creating this unlimited effect. Anyway, that's pretty much what I want to show you today. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.